What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage, and we are back today with an exciting video here in regards to Gear Tier 19. Super exciting times. They actually have officially added in game now, so it is pretty cool to see this this Crimson Daemonic gear that is obviously gearing us up for Gear Tier 19 and ultimately Dark Dimension 7 when you have pushed your characters up to that level 100 cap. Having said that, obviously it remains to be seen if this is going to get price adjusted, but these are some outrageous prices. You can see here, even just for these mini uniques that are getting added into the gear, right? I mean, 400k for one piece of these. Even the regular origin traits for a pack of 10, it's 200k, so that's not terrible in my honest opinion. But yeah, some of these pieces are going to add up. The one I want to direct your attention to, obviously, is going to be the uniques, where this is obviously going to be specific to the characters. But you can see, wow, one piece is worth 800k, guys. Thankfully, there is some good news. The good news is that it seems like the teal stuff anyways, like the uniques and all the other Gear Tier 17 mini uniques, this has got actually a reduction in price here. So it slightly has been decreased here to increase that availability. And, to be fair, guys, we expected this, right? We knew that, everybody was bloating about their gold, everyone's hoarding up massive amounts, and even in my gold review videos that I've done, we've averaged north of 140 million gold per month. So I'm sure that they brought this into kind of their consideration when they're making and considering what the prices would be. But yeah, this is definitely some of the highest prices we've ever seen in the game for sure. I mean, if you think about it, right, I think typically, is it like 16 to 18 pieces to actually equip and bring a character from Gear Tier 18 to 19? Well, we're going to see that when we dive into some of the characters here, but you can see here, just make sure before you purchase any of these resources, make sure you need it, right? So for example, what I do like about their inventory now is if you tap this, you can see which characters can use this Daemonic Uru, right? So let's take a look here. Cersei could be potentially an upgrade in the future. Beta Ray Bill, hopefully you guys aren't planning to bring in more Bifrost characters. This is why I stopped only brooding up Val. Everybody else left at Gear Tier 15 and 16. So honestly, this is one I would skip. It's going to be Miasma, it's going to be Osmium, it's going to be the Alien Spores, right? Bringing all those characters that are elevated, to some of the best in the game that you want to take advantage of. And that's what we're going to be mining for. But it's great to see that this is in game now. So every time it refreshes, get ready to spend some gold, because this is definitely going to be an avenue where we're going to be spending on top of the teal gear. You need to bring those characters up. Now, I did want to direct your guys' attention though. Very important stuff that we do have in game now that this information has come into fruition here, which is we now have some sources to confirm where Gear Tier 19 is actually going to be available. So I always check everything. I check all the stores, check through the different rewards and so forth, and thankfully, these guys have given us some cookie crumbs here. Actually, don't mind me. I'm still trying to build up some of these awakened materials for Black Cat. But if you check the orbs here, this is definitely one of the best areas of the game to check, because not only is there an abundance of orbs, but it kind of gives us a heads up, a sneak preview of what's to come, right? And this is kind of what we saw with the Gear Tier teal gear for Gear Tier 16 when it first came out, was that it came in the way of raid orbs. So I figured I'd check this, and boom, what do you know? We got Crimson Gear raid orbs, and we got Armory 19 orbs here, guys. So good stuff. That indicates here that there is going to be some sort of tie-out back to raids, back to performing, and obviously on the top compete levels of raids. This is going to reward these orbs that help us build it over time, right? So obviously it's a marathon, not a sprint, but it's great to see that there is going to be an opportunity here to take advantage of these orbs. You can even go into the eye for additional details and check how this is going to be dropped in terms of the percentage, right? So it's pretty standard. I didn't see anything crazy here. Business as usual, as we typically expect. One orb is going to be mainly focused on all the different numerous traits involved, the origin gear, if you will. And then the Armor 19, this is the one that's going to be containing that chance here for the actual uniques, right? So not this one. These are the mini unique pieces. Not this one either. So I guess it's going to be the right pillar. Actually, middle pillar? Oh no, it doesn't actually have any of the uniques yet, so it remains to be seen. I guess, my mistake, the actual uniques are not there yet, so I'm assuming there must be another orb later on. Kind of similar to how we saw with the actual gear that came through the Crimson. Maybe actually it is sitting actually in this main one. Let's double check that. Gear drop. Oh, okay. My apologies, guys. It is in fact located with this one with all the rest of the origin. So makes it even harder to get because this is where all the catalysts and so forth are grouped together. So yeah, that's where it is. But you know, good news is that one does have more specifically focused mini uniques, which we see with the Armory 19, and then the other one's gonna be for everything, including those uniques that I showed you for 800K. Now, really good stuff. Means maybe you guys need to consider leaving your alliance. Jokes aside, obviously, but it's gonna be only possible actually in some of the higher levels of raids. So definitely, I want to point that out for you guys as well. But just before that, you can now actually go ahead and take a look at some characters for unlock. So obviously, Apocalypse is gonna be a big favorite, right? So you can actually, when you select on the leftmost upgrade here, and just look at that, you can already kind of snapshot of how much of a boost he's going to be getting, and it was really quick to screenshot here, but you can see he's going to be getting like a boost here of 40,000 HP, 2100 damage resistance just for this one piece. And yes, 18 pieces, guys, 18 pieces multiplied by the 800,000. That's going to give you guys close to 14 million just for the unique society if you're just banking and slowly working your way up. Pretty crazy stuff. What I also want to point out, guys, is I did not see anything yet in the War or Crucible store. Same with Arena. So it does look like Arena, excuse me, it does seem like raids are going to be kind of the main avenue right now with their induction into the game. And this is what I really want to point out. I checked through the other raids rewards, and it does look like there's only one raid setting that is going to be officially rewarding this. So I made that joke earlier about changing your alliance, but in all honesty, if you guys are competing in the highest levels of the end game and you already unlocked Dark Dimension 6 and completed Super Scroll twice and fully upgraded them, well, the one thing to consider here is maybe you might want to switch alliances or be in a higher level alliance, because it does look like Incursion Raid 2, the one I'm participating in right now, this is seemingly the only raid right now that does reward it. So if you click on the Incursion Raid 2, you can actually preview it. And yes, you can actually see here now that it does include actually the Crimson Gear Raid Orb Fragments and the Armory 19. So obviously not a crazy amount of Orb Fragments, but it's going to slowly add up. You definitely want to be competing now, especially if you're in your alliance. And you can see if you're in the top 1 to 2, you're getting a lot more than, let's say, the bottom 13 to 24. That's an extra couple orbs each time that you're doing the raid. So this is definitely some nice incentive if you want to be the top in damage in scoring for your, obviously, your alliance. But really important to consider, guys, especially if you're an end game player like myself. If I was in the end game and I was still doing, let's say, I think the other one before it was the Incursion raids for First Strike, Incursion Raid 2 First Strike. This one doesn't actually have any kind of those materials, right? So you can see here it only goes all the way up until the TU gear. So really, you want to be focusing on Incursion Raid 2 without the First Strike, and that's how you're going to be starting to amass some of these Gear Tier 19 orbs through raiding. And like I said, I didn't see anything in War and Crucible, guys, but that's all I got for now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But this is how we're going to be starting to get some of this materials and pushing our characters up. I think we're also going to be expecting to spend a little bit more gold now that the gold economy does seem better and has improved over my analysis in the past few months. So that's the good news. Obviously, this gear over time should get more friendly in terms of costing, but it makes sense. Scopely and Balance know that we have amassed quite a bit of gold now, and they want us to expend this. And overall, I do have to admit, the infusion of adding the Mega Gold Orb is a nice touch, because there's still that chance that you can get 100 million gold, and that can completely change how much you spend in the store. But over time, guys, we know that this was coming. Dark Dimension 7 is going to be super exciting once we get an opportunity to participate. I'll keep you guys up to date, but now we can finally slowly working on this. And obviously, every day it's about improving and getting better. Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys, how you feel about it. I know it's pricey, but at the end of the day, this is an exciting challenge, and I cannot wait to see what is going to be next. Thank you for your time, as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.